In this video, I'm going to go over some of tymoraPRO's WatchVU features. Bring up WatchVU, we start with the control bar and click the Watch button. Here we see the Pound All tab, and that's going to show you everything coming into the system, sort of like the Alert button. Now, let's say we want to break this down a bit. Let's say we only want to look at breakouts. So right here we already have a tab that was predefined called exclamation point breakouts. And we see inside breakout, 5-minute CNS is consolidated breakout, 30-minute opening range breakout. We have a whole bunch of different breakouts here. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Now let's say the font's too small. You'd like to make that a little bigger. Plus or minus, click in the window and you click plus or minus and you can change the size. Make it more to your liking. So we'll leave it like this. Let's say this is a little more information than you think you need, because there's a lot of other data that you can key off of when you're searching, filtering. Let's say you don't need to see that, or you've already filtered it down, you just want to see the base alert. You click simple and it just shows you 5-minute consolidation breakout, resistance trend consolidation that you're about to break through. You have it all here with a little less information. If you want to put that back, you click more info and it shows you the rest. Now let's say you want to understand more about these alerts. Well, you can take any alert that you see here, double click on it, and you'll get another window that pops up like this that shows you all the information in that alert and what it means. Pick another one. We have Altria Group, and it shows you all the definitions and other information that you can also use for scanning. For example, let's say we only want to look at volume stocks that trade in a certain range, or we don't want to include NASDAQ stocks, or we want a certain price range. Well, that's where we go to the main filter. So let's take a look at what we have in this main filter. Okay, so this is where we can actually control everything that's going on. First, well, you have to understand these top windows are basically there to help you make things easier. It has many predefined terms, so you can just pick them off the list and then add them, or however you'd like. This line over here is basically the final result of anything that you add up on top. So you'll notice, let's say I only want New York Stock Exchange stocks, listed stocks. I would do OK NYS. It shows up here, but you'll also notice it shows up here. Let's say you wanted to start a new tab and copy all this information up here. You could literally just take this line, copy, and then open up a new tab, paste it into the new tab, and start from there. Now let's say we wanted only NASDAQ stock, New York or listed stocks in the price range of 1 to 10. 1-10, OK, and there you go. Notice all the price ranges here are from 1 to 10. That's a little low. Maybe we should make it 10 to 20. Type 10 to 20, hit OK, and there we go. Everything showing is now 10 to 20. Let's make this a little more stringent. Let's add some volume criteria. We only want stocks trading at least 1 million shares a day. We click on that, it adds the appropriate parameters, hit OK, and now all these stocks that you're seeing are trading on average at least 1 million shares a day. If you want to get a better idea of the terms, you have to remember, like I said up here, these are basically just to simplify things. It takes the most common alerts or keys and puts them up in here for you to use. For example, if you want breakouts, but you only want breakouts that are appearing at new highs, well, then you would want to add an AND term of new high. And that would make sure that you're looking for a breakout or a consolidation, some sort of consolidation signal at a new high. What you have to remember with this, though, is as these are all predefined, you can actually change this to whatever you want. If you don't want new high, you'd rather near high, you don't actually have to take this off the list and add it. If there's something that you see in here in the alerts that isn't on one of these lists, you can still add it and it'll filter it. Let's say we'd rather have this as near high. We can make that adjustment too. You notice when we bring it back up, it's showing near high, and also here it's showing it and it's parsed it in the correct column according to its attributes. So this is just making it easier, but this is the actual final scanning result. This is the real filter down here. If you want to see a lot of the other terms that are used, View Alert Guide will show you all the different terms that you can use. Now, of course, this might seem a little overwhelming, so it might still be easier for you to basically go back to the alerts that you see. Let's say on the All tab, if you see something that gets your attention, G pivot, what's that? Let's double click on a G pivot. Let's see what that says. At above or at below geometric pivot levels, these can be good indications of potential runners and short squeezes. So it's giving you an exact explanation of what that particular alert is, and then you can make a decision to either filter it under a new tab. Maybe you don't want it on a particular tab, you want to filter it out. It's up to you to work it however you'd like. Now you have other features here too. It can get pretty powerful. Let's go back actually to our breakout tab. You might notice this TF11111. This is actually letting you filter down to the alert level the time frames that a particular alert are trading on. So of course, if you have an alert that's on a new high, it's likely that you'll have many of these on all ones. But let's say you only want alerts that are, say, trading higher on the 1, 3, and 5 minute time frame. You can actually add that too. And the way you would do that is that you do more manually. You would do plus TF. Remember, these filters here are not non-case sensitive, so you can put in lowercase, it still will make it uppercase. And we'll put question mark for all the time frames we don't care about, but then for the last 3 we'll put a 111. So now you should notice this PWE will probably disappear, or it should disappear because there's a 0 here, 011, and the others should stay. Well, there you go. So now we just filtered by time frame. There's other interesting features here too. For example, let's say you wanted NASDAQ, but you didn't want ETFs. So we have the, actually I keep saying NASDAQ, so maybe I should just put NASDAQ. Let's remove the NYS and make this NASDAQ. So we want NASDAQ stocks, but we don't want any ETFs. So now we're not showing up anything in this case. So let's see. It means we don't have any current alerts for that particular set, which is fine. Maybe we should make it less stringent. Let's take off our time frame here. Actually, I can do it here as well. Okay, we're still not showing up anything. Let's remove this and see if we get anything. I think we have to remove the near high, and okay, now we're getting some alerts again. So that's the one I should have taken off. We don't have too many alerts right now which are near their highs. But you see, a lot of it's just experimenting. You play around, you see, you figure out what you're trying to get, and then when you get the filters down to what you want, you really focus in on the alerts that you want, and actually you're almost ready then, at that stage to start to even put it into a complete strategy that's going to be more saved for other videos. But that's one of the newer tymoraPRO features. You can literally take these alerts and put them into entire strategies very easily. You would just take breakouts, and then any additional alert keys, and then you can just add, buy, sell, put in your stops, targets right off the bat, and within minutes you can have a whole trading system set up that you can also inject your own, make your own adjustments into. All the orders show up on the charts on the level 2, and it becomes very powerful what you can do very quickly and relatively easily. So take a step back. Now that you understand some of the basics here of the scanning features, if you click any alert, you can also jump right to a montage level 2 by right-clicking. You see right off the bat we get the level 2 popping up. Let's say we'd like to break a few more of these tabs out to watch a few at a time. You just double-click, and now you see we get other windows. We want that one. Let's say we'd like to watch the float breakouts. And again, you can plus minus, you change the size of them, change the window size, you can place them wherever you want. Right click again to pop up level 2. And you can double click again to get the alert guide. Now, one little thing to remember, you might be wondering, and I should have probably said this earlier, when you have an exclamation point in the name, basically you can the reason that was put there is because just to differentiate that from an actual symbol, because you can add, let's say you want just any alert on the spiders, SPY. You can just type in SPY and any alert now for that symbol will show up under that tab. So the exclamation point basically serves to differentiate that tab as a filtering tab versus just an asset. Like here, for example, actually we have CompX. So you see anything here is going to be related to the $CompX, NASDAQ composite. If you want to remove a tab, just click on the tab you want, remove, OK, and you're done. Something to remember too, you have this no B button. As alerts are coming into the system, I tend to like it when I'm trading because it sort of gives a feel of the market. As more and more alerts are moving higher, Tymora sort of makes that boop, 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 boop. But that might be annoying to some people. Of course, if you don't want that, you can click the no B button, and that will disable that sound. You can also add voice filters for the alerts. If you have a lot of alerts coming through, that could get annoying. But if you have just a few and you want to be notified about those by voice, you click voice, and you'll get that information there when they come out. Once you have a filter like this, let's say you want to further filter. We only want to see some of these sector alerts, and these sector alerts, by the way, these will show up on the stats view. So like if we look at ARRS on stats view, notice becomes a powerful way to find similar stocks moving strongly up or down. Here on ARRS, we're showing the sector currently has a 97% or 97 ranking out of 100 as one of the strongest sectors for the day, along with these other stocks. And right now it's actually losing a little bit of ground. That's why there's a minus in front of it. Oh, and by the way, if you wanted to pull this up into a multi-view, you can actually double-click and add that into a new multi-view tab. That's another issue. But it does bring us into another feature here that's very powerful. Let's say we have gaps that we wanted to watch for, like here. We have a gaps tab. Well, let's say we don't necessarily want to trade those right away. We want to start creating a list of interesting stocks to watch throughout the day. On the main filter, you could add to multi-view, like that. And this would automatically add any of the alerts that show up here to a new multi-view tab, which then you could sort separately like this. So you can see here is another example. These are all gaps that occurred today, and I can sort them any way I want by all these different criteria, and it sorts them in real time. Let's say maybe you want to change that, maybe make it a single row. so I have all these different stocks that had gaps today that I can sort and watch. And actually, I could literally even click all of these. If I think there's like a market breakout, I want to buy the whole set, I can actually create a hotkey and just go straight out and buy all those stocks at the same time. That's a bit more advanced feature, but just to give you a few ideas of how much you can actually do with Tymora. Set that back to this way. I think that gives a good basic overview of the WatchVU features. Let me think if there's anything else I can show you here. Oh, one other interesting feature, talking about the relative strength before, you can actually also sort by the asset's relative strength using OKRS. So let's say I only want stocks that have a relative strength of, say, 80 or more. Oops. There we go. Now, only stocks with a relative strength above 80 would be showing up on this list. One last cool feature I wanted to show is that if you go to the News tab, any alert that comes up here you could double click on, and it'll take you right to the headline if there is one, the article. So you get the article that's connected to it. But another interesting cool feature is, let's say you have some sort of insider trading alert, like here, DRI. If you double click on that, you get offered the opportunity to show any available insider trade statistics. If you do yes, it'll go scan the tymoraPRO database. In this case, it was nothing, but just in case of that happened, saved another one here that had popped up a little while ago. And you'll see it actually goes through the particular insider's trading history and just lets you know how many shares were traded and how the performance was of that particular symbol stock from 1 week all the way up to 6 months after the trades occurred. Lastly, I just wanted to cover the ActiVU window and the HiLoVU windows, as these are all linked to the WatchVU. The ActiVU looks to really focus in on moves that are happening now, like you'll see right here on DBD, we're down 5 levels. There might be some sharp moves, so it's analyzing certain alerts and combinations and showing you in a separate list here. And you can actually further filter this if you hit F. If you wanted to look by price range, or maybe only, say you only wanted Forex or NASDAQ, you can actually make those adjustments to price range, volume, since they are originating from these other alerts. So you can do that too, and that's just with the F key. Remember, whenever you mouse over anywhere, just to keep an eye on the hints that pop up, because they give you a lot of information on the other functionality that you can access. The HiLoVU is a little more powerful than most that you've probably seen in other platforms. It's also based on the alerts, looking for new high, new low, but it's also keeping tabs. Well, first of all, it shows you, the scope of the new high. Here we're at a 6-month high. We're up 3% on the day. It's also showing how many new highs, let's say, how many new higher offers were taken out, and how quickly that's happened, and how many we've had total. Is this a new, the first time it's a new high for the day, or is this like the 10th time that that's happened? And how powerful is it? How many, are we just touching a new offer, or are we actually taking out multiple offers? So you have all that information here. And also, if you hit F, you get the additional HiLoVU filter window. So if we wanted to show just NASDAQ or Forex or price range, volume range, we can add that here as well. And this also is adjustable. If you want to make these columns larger, you can do that. And this can be, you can change the size here as well for the ActiVU. you can make it smaller if you just wanted to, you don't need the charts. Or you can actually, instead of showing charts, or if you click, you can see the price range. You can double click, get the montage here as well. You just pick any alert, get the level 2, and if you click the C key, you toggle between charts and the actual underlying price. So one last thing, and then I promise to let you go. You might notice here on the alert, sometimes you see 5 HFC, 5 next to it, and that number, if there's a lot of alerts, and now we see 7, here we have SRS 5. If you get many alerts coming out at the same time, like one after the other, that number basically shows you how many alerts on the same stock or same asset have just come out in a very short period, say like in the last 10 seconds or so. And with that, I'll conclude this video and wish best wishes for your trading.